Well, it's all over for another edition of the Volta A. And what a day we had today with a time trial on Sierra Nevada. It was an incredible spectacle. And at the end, Portugal's João Almeida took the red jersey from his teammate, Jay McCarthy, and now he leads this 2023 edition. We were all pretty surprised when UAE pulled the trigger and launched their sprinter Pascal Ackermann on the penultimate stage. And that meant that Jay McCarthy, who was wearing the red at the time, would have to wait till the final stage to try and defend his lead. But a flat stage like that doesn't bode well for the Australian, which meant that today, time trial up the mighty Alpe d'Huez was going to be his biggest challenge. When we say the Vuelta is unpredictable, we really mean it. When Remco Evenepoel had to abandon the race after crashing into a barrier and breaking his pelvis, everyone expected his teammate, Enric Mas, to take over the reins and become the leader. But just when it looked like this would happen, out came Jai Hindley and seized the opportunity and wore the red for a few days. But then, a resurgent Alex Caruso threatened Hindley's position, but he couldn't quite go all the way. And when Hindley looked to be losing time on the road to other GC men, Jay McCarthy became the leader again. But if we've learned anything from previous editions of the Volta, is that the bunch sprints are where the sprinters battle it out. But the real action is in the mountains, where the favorites for the overall contest usually come from. And that's exactly what happened, because here we are talking about the surprising João Almeida took the red jersey after finishing the Queen stage on the podium and briefly holding the hot seat after beating the likes of Remco, Primoz, Roglic, Alex Caruso, Enric Mas, and all the other GC contenders. At one point, he led by nearly 2 minutes before Evenepoel finally beat his time. But even though he lost the hot seat, Almeida's time of 49 minutes and 44 seconds was enough for him to take the red from McCarthy. And now, he will start tomorrow's stage as the new leader. The win itself went down to the wire, with only 6 seconds covering the top 4 riders. In the end, it was Evenepoel who showed why he's the best time trialist in the world. But since the course was uphill and not perfectly smooth, it was difficult for anyone to get a perfectly clean run. So there were some bobbles along the way. Jumbo-Visma's Primo Roglic started first and set the early pace, but he had a small crash. Nothing too serious, but it did shake him up a little bit. Afterwards, he said, "I knew this morning already that it would be very difficult to win the time trial. It was very hot and it was a long effort. Also, uphill. Still, I gave it everything I had. I have mixed feelings. On the one hand, second place is not so bad, but on the other hand, I could have ridden for the stage win." Next up was Caruso, who put in a strong ride, but he had a few moments where he looked uncomfortable on his bike. In the end, he was 11 seconds off Evenepoel's pace, and he ended up in 4th. Then came the defending champion, Remco Evenepoel, who went out in the 10th position. He rode a superb ride, and he clocked the fastest time at every checkpoint. Then came the American, Brandon McNulty, who was looking for a stage win. He actually went ahead of Evenepoel at the first intermediate sprint, but he struggled on the lower gradients and finished 15 seconds behind the Belgian. Then came the moment we were all waiting for. Jai Hindley. He went out in the 20th position, but he quickly got caught out by the speed of the others. And he finished over a minute down on Evenepoel, and he slipped to 5th place in the GC before the last rider, Jay McCarthy, hit the course. His team, UAE, had a disappointing day as both he and his teammate, Pascal Ackermann, crashed. They didn't seem to be seriously injured, but it wasn't the perfect preparation for the final stage. In the end, McCarthy finished 1 minute and 45 seconds behind Evenepoel, and he will start tomorrow, in Madrid in 2nd place. Despite being in 2nd place, McCarthy downplayed his chances of winning the Volta and said, "It will be hard to beat him. Remco is the best time trialist in the world. If I can't beat him today, I won't beat him in a time trial. You need a lot of luck in a time trial." And honestly, I got a bit lucky this week by taking the red jersey and keeping it until now. I don't think I'm good enough to win the Volta. So, as things stand, it looks like it will be between Evenepoel and Almeida for the overall win. Both of them are supremely talented riders, and they are both extremely motivated. It will be exciting to see how it pans out in Madrid. It's safe to say this hasn't been the year of the sprinters. But if you're still hoping for a bunch gallop in Madrid, well, you might be disappointed. Well, maybe not, because it's not over yet. Speaking of not being over, we've still got some other awards to give out. There were 2 more jerseys up for grabs today, and they both went to members of Team Jumbo Visma. Nathan Van Hoedonk won the fight for the green points jersey, while Sepp Kuss took the King of the Mountains classification in the blue and white stripes. Kuss came into the final stage with a 10-point lead over his closest challenger, and all he needed to do was stay in the vicinity of the other GC men to secure the win. He did just that, and will now add this classification to the mountain time trial win he achieved earlier in the race. As for Van Aken, he came into the final individual time trial with a 15-point advantage over his closest rival, Pascal Ackermann. Even if he hadn't won the stage, he would have secured the points classification. However, he did win the stage and will take home the green jersey and the award for Most Aggressive Rider. The Most Aggressive Rider award goes to the rider who has been awarded the most times as the most aggressive rider on any given stage. With his win today, Van Aken has accumulated 17 points, and he will surely add to that total on the final stage. So join us tomorrow as we bring you live coverage of the final stage. It should be a cracker of a day and the perfect way to round off this amazing edition of the Vuelta. And that's all for today. Let us know what you thought of today's stage and the overall race in the comments below. We love hearing your thoughts. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel to be notified when we upload our next video. Until then, take care and see you soon.